Okay, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today's video, we're here from Mushoku Tensei Season 2, Episode 17. Nope, it might be 18. Let's check. Let's do a check. It's 18. I had a feeling last week was 17, but I couldn't remember for sure. Last week was the best episode of Season 2. I will stand by that fact. Last episode was the best episode of the entirety of Season 2. Now, we are here for Turning Point 3. I think I remember what happens. I don't think I'm going to talk about it here in the intro, but that's a great segue into the fact that I'm a light novel reader. I haven't read in like 2 years, almost probably a little bit more at this point, but I haven't read the series in like 2 years. I stopped a little bit after where this season's going to end, I believe, but I do remember some stuff. Like last episode, I remembered very heavily because it was one of my favorite parts of the entire series from the stuff that I read. Now we're here for Turning Point 3, and I think I remember what happens here. I love the reaction from people because everybody, as soon as they saw that title, was freaking the f*** out. And from what I remember, nothing bad happens here. Nothing bad happens in this Turning Point from everything I remember. I feel like this is legitimately going to be a more chill episode, all things considered. I'm going to talk, I mean, if you're watching this, you've watched the episode. I don't know why you would watch this if you haven't watched the episode. If you haven't fully finished the episode, do not like listen to me what I'm about to say. Go watch the episode. Do not, like, please watch the episode first, because I'm only talking about episode stuff here. From what I remember from this Turning Point, Sylphie is pregnant and Rudy gets the letter from Paul, and I believe he gets talked to by the man god. If any of that is spoilers, I will clarify that post edit. If any of that is spoilers, I will clarify to skip past that, but that is what I remember Turning Point 3 being. Overall, is a relatively chill turning point. Considering what the last two were, this one was very tame in comparison, from what I remember. But we will see how spot on my my memory is regarding this turning point. I don't think I have too much else to say. I'm super excited to see how they adapt it. So per usual, feel free to check out the Patreon and Discord. Links are in the description below. As far as the Discord goes, talk about current anime, past anime, current manga, past manga, and have non-anime conversations as well. As far as the Patreon goes, you get exclusives and uncuts to all of my reactions, so feel free to check out either of those of your own will. But now without further, well actually, I want to clarify one thing again. I do this every episode. You guys are used to this at this point. I should have said it earlier, but I like to clarify every video that these are non-spoiler reactions. I don't plan on talking about any spoilers until I segment it off section at the very end of the video, where then I will discuss spoilers, how I think the episode was adapted, things like that. So that'll be at the very end. The rest of the reaction is going to be spoiler-free, unless I'm talking about stuff that's in the episode. So like I talked about there in the intro, I was talking about stuff that is only going to occur within this episode, so don't get it twisted. I'm not spoiling anything for you, I promise. I don't want to do that. I want everybody to be able to watch my reactions, even if I know some people are going to be pushed away by the fact that I have, in fact, read the light novel, even if it was 2 years ago, or how it was. I think it is at least 2 years. I'll put it like that. But yeah, let's go ahead and hop right into episode 18. Hello, Mr. Rudy. Be nice and happy after everything that went down with Norn. Yep, and she's making friends and everything too. She stopped to wave. She almost didn't, but then she did. That was cute. It's a real tearjerker. Ah, we're getting back on track trying to help Rugird's name. A documentary approach. Packaged with a figure, huh? Trying to give out the Rugird figures. Yeah, he has like 2 lines. I love how they're getting along now. I love it so much. If I'm spending too much time with Norn and want more attention. Damn, please pay me. Aisha's too cute for her own good. I try to treat, okay. I thought he said I treat my wife right, but he said I try to treat my wife right. At least he's knowledgeable about the fact that he's at least trying. Oh my god. Damn, Dad would punch my lights out. Yeah, he 100% would. Oh my god, she's using Rudy as a bargaining chip. She's using Rudy as a bargaining chip. Girl's smart, and it's all that matters. Aw, cute little. Oh, look at how happy she is with it. Or kicking her feet. She's adorable. Summon inorganic matter, summon organic matter, summon an organism. Example, a plant or small animal. Summon an organism from this world according to detailed conditions. Also, let's go back. I like how they put a little a rose, or I don't know if that's a rose. It's kind of blurry. I can't tell. Some kind of flower into the plastic bottle they brought. Teleported, what, summoned? That's the word I was looking for. Summoned. Finally, wait, fuck. There was another step. God damn it. Finally, experiment with returning the summoned creature to its original location. Huh? Okay. That's... I don't know if you can be picky, though. I don't know if you can reasonably be picky. Ooh, Orsted. Lamplight spirits. Oh, sick. The person I mentioned invented it for limited editions. Oh my god, that is such a detailed looking dragon figure. Wow, that looks awesome. That actually looks so good. Wow, that looks sick. That's sweet. Yeah, Zanoba giving away a figure to somebody else is crazy. Yep, here's Ginger. Yeah, she seems to really want to stick around him. Oh. What a moving story. That's it, yeah. Yeah, I do remember this. He traded away Ginger for the Roxy figure. The first is that it looks like it's fucking huge, yeah. That is giant. But hey, at least we're making head work. Is that the word? Headway? What's the word? I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. We're making progress into helping ease her curse even a little bit. Holy shit, really? Oh god, we're gonna drain Rudy for all of his mana. Out for the daily running. Yep, checks up on everybody's research daily. Man, it's almost like things are going a little too well for Rudy. Just kidding. Aww, look at those two. Rudy, your arm's gotta be dead asleep, brother. She is laying directly on that arm. That shit is gonna be so numb and asleep. Back to the house. It's time.
ここ2ヶ月来てないんだ。ちょっと体調も悪くて、昨日アイシャちゃんと近くのお医者さんのところに行ったんだけど。
I'm probably expecting Rudy is going to be a fucking father. Whoa, that is crazy.
触ってみてもいいか。どうぞ。草間に一言言うべきこと。
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I don't think that's what you're supposed to say there. Oh. Oh. I've never seen Rudy cry like that before. Ah, yeah, we have. The hand placement. The hand placement. Aisha, you forgot Aisha's here? That was awesome. I love how they did that. That was great. Showing that Sylphie's pregnant. Yeah, I was gonna say that we have seen him cry like that when Eris left. That was the only other time in this entire series we have seen Rudy cry. That is the only other time. When Eris left, and now that Sylvie's pregnant. The only two times. Yeah, you're gonna have to hold yourself off. No sexy times for you. Take at least 2 years off. Oh, okay. She's got clips. She'll be alright. Aww. This girl just being happy about getting praise. If there's nothing, Paul is a piece of shit. We know this. Paul is an absolute horrendous piece of shit human. If nothing else, he tries to be the best father that he can be, and I am almost certain he would do the same to be the best grandfather that he can be. 100% that is in Paul's character. We saw it in the first season, even though Rudy was only home for a little bit. Paul's fucked up several times. Like, we know he's not a good person. We have heard all about his past and how bad of a person he was, but he tried so hard to be a good dad for Rudy. It just was difficult at times because Rudy is also in the mentality of a, mature's the wrong word because I don't think at the time in earlier season 1 he was not mature in the slightest. That's a whole other conversation that people probably went into when they reacted to season 1. My mentality is that Rudy, when he was younger, was still very much in the mind of a high schooler, if that makes any sense. I don't think he ever matured past that mental age. Even if he was however many years old in his old world, I don't think he ever matured past that mental age because of the trauma he went through, and then he obviously locked himself away for years. He never matured past that mental age. That's a different conversation, though. That's not what I'm trying to talk about here. I'm just talking about how it was difficult for Paul because of the fact that Rudy was already developed somewhat and had knowledge from his previous world, so it was difficult for Paul to navigate that. But Paul tried his best. That is, at the end of the day, Paul tries to be the best father he can be for his kids. That is undeniable for his character. And I will stand by that fact. I love how happy Norn looks now that Paul's getting involved here. Yup. Hello, man god. It is I don't think we've seen him once this season. I'm not gonna lie. I legitimately don't think we have seen the man god once this season. One time the entirety of season 2. I think the last time we saw him, no, we did. We saw him at the very beginning after that beginning arc with Sarah. At the very beginning of season 2, we saw him right after that when he told Rudy to go to the magic school. We did see that. We did definitely see that. Fair point. I'll give you the same advice. I forgot what an asshole you are. Yeah, it's been a minute since we've talked to him. Although I guess for Rudy, it really hadn't been that long because the man god told Rudy to go to the school, and it really has only been like a year since then, I think. If even that. It really hasn't been all that long considering like the gaps between when we would see the man god in season 1. We've spent a real concentrated amount of time at this school in a much shorter time period, all things considered. It's definitely not as long as we usually take to see him. It just feels longer because it's been way more episodes than normal. Most people can't. Yeah, that's true. I hate that that's true. Like that is very true. Like how am I supposed to weigh my options? Most people can't. Most people don't get like whatever the man god is, divine intervention to help them figure out what decision to make or to give them assistance like that. And nobody gets that. But Rudy's getting special treatment here. Nobody gets that. So he should be happy that he's being told advice at all. Like I understand Rudy's rationale. He wants to be able to weigh his options. Should I go? Should I stay? But most people don't get that. The fact that he's giving you any advice at all, I would take gladly. But of course, I'd get wanting to know more when my family is possibly in danger. It should be obvious.
妹は俺の手紙を見てここまで来たんだ。ミリスに残るか。手紙がなくてもパウロは娘をアスラ王国まで送ったよ。
Oh shit.
国にはリーリャの家族がいるから。言われてみるとそうか。それから旅に出てシルフィーとの子供はどうするんだい？
Oh god.
その間君はどう動いても後悔するってことかよ。後悔は避けようと思っても避けられない。
My god, the man god's getting real close to Rudy here.
だから行かない方がいい。お前がそこまで言うのなら。助言は聞くかい？
Some more advice.
ルーデウスよ。次の発情期を待ちなさい。リニアとプルセナがあなたに迫ってくるでしょう。この二人のどちらかと関係を持ちなさい。幸せになることでしょう。いきなり浮気の話かよ。俺はシルフィーにミサオを立てるって決めたんだぞ。あいつらとはそういう関係じゃない。
And he's out. No further words from the man god.
リニアとプルセナのことは置いておいて。俺がどれだけ考えても確証のある答えは出せない。
It's just like the man god said. Regrets no matter what decision you make.
あの手紙のことだよね。僕のことはあまり気にしなくてもいいよ。二人も手紙のこと心配してるしね。俺は行かない。シルフィーといるよ。
Yeah. Traveling a year? It would be a year to get there. He then has to help rescue Zenith. Yeah, that's what Guy said in the letter, rescue Zenith. And then he would have to travel a year back. His child at that point would seriously be, what are we looking at, like a year and a half years old? Maybe more? Depending on if there's hiccups and he has to stay longer. Like, he would miss out on a lot of his child's life. Like, early life.
でも差出人はパウロじゃなくギースだ。独断で出したのかもしれない。すでに救出していて。行き違いになる可能性もある。でも。
What do you do?
もしかして行くんですか？ぐらいはさせてくださいまし。クリフ先輩はどうするんですか？仕方ありませんわね。待ってくれますよ。クリフは将来教皇になるかもしれない器。邪魔になるようなことはしたくないんですの。若い頃の気の迷いということにしておくのが一番いいんですわ。
Praying for your speedy return, huh? Yeah, he's got to stick with Julie.
それは師匠の決めることです。一つだけ言わせていただくと、父親が見ていなくとも不安ならば行くべきかと。
I have a grand feeling Zenoba is speaking from experience when he refers to that. When he refers to children still growing, their father isn't watching them. I could imagine him being a noble. His father probably isn't around too much, especially now that he's been just sent off to this school after the whole arc last season. I'd rather never leave your side. Though, let's take this into account. Children grow while their parents aren't around. That doesn't mean it's a good thing. Children do grow whether their fathers are there or not. That does not mean it is a good thing at all. That does not mean in the slightest that it is a good thing whatsoever.
シルフィーは一人じゃない。俺がいなくてもきっと大丈夫だろう。この家の大黒柱だ。家族と一緒にいて。守ってやるのが夫としてのやっぱり置いてなんていけない。
He is really struggling. He is really struggling with this because both sides. I don't know what I would do here. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. It's like I know this is an isekai, but let's just take this into a real situation. It's like Rudy's mom is possibly not safe. Clearly, they're talking about how they have to rescue her, and it's not going well. So, do you go help your dad save your mom, or or do you stay home, wait for your child to be born, risk letting them possibly die? Each option is not a good choice. Each option, it's like the main god said, each option has possible regrets. 100%. Each option has possible regrets. Hello, Norn. Oh god, there went that ankle. Yeah, oh god. Turning point 3, baby. There you go. I have a feeling that's not what a lot of people were expecting, because the last 2 turning points have been quite disastrous. But this one was a different kind of turning point. I obviously this is the non-spoiler section. I'm not gonna speak too much on it. We'll see as the season progresses what exactly this means as it plays out, as Rudy's decision plays out. I don't want to speak too much regarding this, as I don't want to say too much, whatever it may be. This was a great episode. I think they really did a good job of portraying how difficult of a decision this is, because like I said, either way has possible regrets. Either way has possible regrets no matter what decision Rudy makes. It's pretty rough. He has made the decision to go and save his family. Because, I mean, it's like Sylphie said, it's such a tough decision, because what Sylphie said was, don't worry about me, your sisters are worried too, which is reasonable. His sisters, that family is their real family, not Rudy's isekai family. That is their legitimate real family. So of course they're fucking worried sick after seeing a letter saying that rescuing Zenith is going badly. Of course they're fucking scared. And so it got to the point where Rudy was being so indecisive about making a decision that Norm was about to leave on her own if he wasn't out there that morning, because she is so worried about their family and their parents, because those are really the only people they have, especially Norn. Those are really the only people she has outside of Rudy. But while she's making more friends at school, of course she's terrified for her parents, the man who raised her, more specifically, Paul, and then Aisha, of course, is worried about Paul, worried about Lilia. A lot of, it's just such a shit situation, because if Rudy leaves, he's leaving behind his child. He just found out Sylvie's pregnant, and if it's a year trip, it's a 2-year round trip at the least. At the least to get there. So he would absolutely miss the birth of his child. I think I'm gonna keep my mouth shut, and we will continue figuring out what is going to happen with Rudy's decision throughout the rest of this season. But for non-spoilers, I think that is gonna wrap it up for my reaction for you guys. Hope you guys did enjoy it. Hope you all have a good day. Now let's get into spoilers, because obviously I can't talk about the fact that Rudy ends up making the trip a lot shorter. Obviously can't talk about that with Nanahoshi and how she ends up telling him about the teleporters, I believe they're called. I forget what they're called exactly, but the teleporting circles, they get him and the Lena-Lees there a lot quicker. But I do think this is a very well adapted episode. They showed Rudy was struggling to make a decision, which is reasonable. This decision sucks. If I remember correctly, the consequences were if he didn't go, Roxy would marry somebody else. I believe that was the legitimate only consequence to Rudy not going, which is kind of crazy at the end of the day, that the only consequence is that he doesn't marry Roxy. Paul lives, Zenith lives, obviously she comes in her vegetable state, but she lives, everybody else lives. But when he does go, and if he doesn't go, he then gets Lenny and Prasenna, I believe, to be his wives as well. Something like that. if he does go, reasonably speaking, the man god gave him the good advice here. He said don't go, because regrets either way is the case, but he has more regrets going than not going. Him going, Paul dies. Of course, they recover Zenith, but Paul dies. He doesn't get Linnea and Presena, and whatever it may be. I reasonably think that going gave him the worst regrets than not going at the end of the day. But yeah, that's a whole other conversation that we could have whenever that situation comes about and we end up kind of seeing what actually happens there. But this is a great episode. Sylvie's obviously the pregnancy announcement, just having that and then immediately following it up with him having to make a decision to leave or not is a crazy turnaround. And then the man god, obviously. I was struggling not to say anything spoilery during that segment. I was on the struggle bus trying to talk around the man god as if he's not the bad guy in this series. Because obviously, if you get to volume 14, you find out man god is not quite the good fellow that we've come to know. Overall, great episode. Yeah, I'm excited to see how this arc turns out, all things considered. I like seeing Norn and Rudy getting along. And as a whole, I think this was adapted very well, showing the visions of like what the family could be and whatnot. This has been Rudy's dream since he was a kid, was to have this kind of family like this. But obviously, we know that is not how it goes down, sadly. But yeah, I don't think I have too much. I honestly don't think I have too much else to say, even for spoiler segment. They did this well. The Turning Point 3, I'm sure, is going to shock a lot of people because they were probably expecting something drastic to happen, people to die, whatever it may be to happen. But this was a much more calm Turning Point, all things considered. Much more calm Turning Point. So, yeah, I think they adapted it pretty well. Now we begin the trip to the Bigaric continent, which really sets up the rest of the series. Like, once we get through this arc, it sets up what is going to be the final conflict going forward with the man god. And yeah, I'm super excited to see how they adapt it. And we've got, what, this episode 18 is 24 episodes. We literally have 6 episodes for this entire final arc. So I'm excited to see how they end up adapting it. But I think that is going to wrap it up for my reaction to Mushoku Tensei Season 2, Episode 18. Hope you guys did enjoy, and I hope you all have a good day.